What's up, guys? This your boy Stark, and I'm back again for another tutorial. This one's called Pro Tools 9 for newbies. This is for all my newbies, all my newcomers, all the guys that want to up their production as far as quality, sound, workflow, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is for you guys. I'm gonna try to make this as brief as I can. I'm just gonna go over the basic functions that you're gonna need when you just want to start recording and working in the Pro Tools. Like I said, I'm gonna make this very brief, so I hope you guys keep up and can follow along. Okay, so now I already have a session open, but when you're ready to start, you go to File, New Session. Now you can create a template session or you can create a blank session. I usually create a blank session. I stick with the defaults, everything looks good, and you're gonna click OK. When you click OK, this is gonna pop up, right? This is your basic editor's window, and let's get rid of some of the stuff that we don't need. Tracks and group window, you don't need it, so you're just gonna place the cursor and get it out of there. The regions list, you don't need it, so let's get that out of there. All right. Now we have our transport window. Your transport window is like your remote control for your TV. You know what I'm saying? So the transport window is actually bigger than this, so let's open it up. Let's go to this arrow and click all. Okay. Now you have your transport window. This is your tempo selector. You can just click and push up or push down. You can adjust your tempo. Now you have your conductor track. Now if this conductor dude is selected, you're not going to be able to move your tempo. You're not going to be able to change your tempo. So make sure he's deselected so you can adjust the tempo to however you want it. You know what I'm saying? Now this function right here is your MIDI merge. You have your metronome. This is your metronome selector. If it's not blue, it's not going to work. If it's blue, it's going to work. This right here is your count off. This right here is your wait for note. If it's selected, Pro Tools is gonna wait until you press a note to start recording. Okay. Over here you have your basic controls, your play, record, stop, fast forward, and all that jazz. Okay, so now you're basically ready to record. Okay, so now let's bring some tracks in. You're gonna go to Track, New, and you're gonna create a stereo instrument track. Then you're gonna add a MIDI track. You press the add button. Gonna go to MIDI track and you're gonna click create. All right. Now we have to do some configuration. So let's go to our mix window. You go to window and then you go to mix. Okay. This is your mix window. This is where you mix, control the levels of volumes and route stuff. All right. So let's open up a instrument track. Click on the first spot, multi-channel plugin, go to instrument. And for you guys that don't have hardware instruments, you can go to instrument, expand. Expand has some beautiful sounds, great sounds, but I'm gonna use my M50 keyboard. Okay, so now that I have my instrument loaded up, let's close out. Nope. Before we do that, let's route our MIDI track to our instrument track. Okay. So on the MIDI track, this is your input and this is your output. Okay, you're gonna take the output and you're gonna take that to channel 1 of my keyboard. If you're using expand, it's gonna be expand channel 1. Okay, make sure your MIDI track is record enabled. You can get out of this, go back to your edit window. Okay, now we want to record to a metronome, so let's bring up a metronome. Let's create a click track. You're gonna go to track, create a click track. Okay, and let's go to our transport window and select the metronome button. So when you press play, you're gonna hear your metronome. Okay, so now we're ready to record. Now before we go into recording, we have one more thing that I want to do. Let's go to Event Operations, Quantize. Okay, this is your Quantize window. This is where you want your notes to quantize to the grid, and Pro Tools can do that for you. Okay, so gonna make sure note on is clicked. You're gonna make sure it says 116. It's gonna quantize your notes 116, and you're gonna go to strength, and you're gonna highlight strength, and you're gonna make sure it's 100. You're gonna click apply, and you're gonna close your window. Okay, so now we're ready to record. So let's arm record. This is your count off button right here. This is gonna count off 2 bars before it start recording. So you're gonna want to have that on. So let's make sure that's on. Make sure your MIDI track that's routed to your instrument track is in record enabled. Hit the record button and hit the play button. And we're gonna record. Okay, so now I just recorded a 4-bar loop. Okay, now you have your MIDI notes. These are your MIDI notes that you just played. Okay, so one more thing as far as editing goes, this toolbar up here, these are your editing tools. These are the most 3 important tools that you're gonna need, and this strip right here, if you click on it, is going to select the 3 most important tools that you're going to need. Make sure that's selected, and it makes working a lot easier. Okay, so we're going to trim this back to 5. Oops. Okay, so now just by looking at this, I can tell that some of the notes aren't really on. So let's edit those right now. You're going to put the cursor over your MIDI notes and double click. This is going to open up your MIDI window. Okay, your MIDI window is going to open up, and this is where you can edit your sound to however you like it. Okay, so I'm going to deselect these notes. I'm going to click and drag and highlight all 5 of these notes, and I'm going to just drag it to the grid. I'm going to make sure they hit on the grid. Okay, I'm going to go to the second one, highlight that, make sure it's hitting the grid. Bring that to the grid. Highlight that. Bring that to the grid. Highlight this one. Bring it to the grid. That to the grid, and everything looks good. So I'm gonna trim this back to 5, and let's play it. See what happens. Okay, sounds good. Now the only problem is I want this to loop. I want it to be able to loop. I want to hear it again. So in order to make this loop, you can either click on the selection and your markers will highlight the selection that you need to loop, or you can do it manually like this. You can highlight it by itself. Okay, now after you have your selection highlighted, you're going to go to the play button, and you're going to right click, and you're going to go to loop. Okay, once that's selected, you press play. And your selection loops. Okay, so this is about it that I'm going to cover for right now. I hope I didn't move too fast for you guys. As always, if you have any questions, just leave me a comment and I will definitely get back to you. You know what I'm saying? I just want to say appreciate all my subscribers, all my comments, all people that showed love. I appreciate it, and I'm going to keep it coming. All right? So signing off for now. I'm going to holler at y'all.